It's that time of year again. Time to put all the fun open water toys away and time to break this baby out and do a little bit of ice fishing. But what I like to do prior to getting out on the ice and making sure all my equipment, my open water stuff is ready for the next year is, number one, I back all the drags off on my reels. That helps from flattening out the washers or bending the washers, and it'll keep the reel alive a lot longer than if you leave the drags locked down over the course of the winter. And then the second thing is to store the rods either in upright position like I've got right here, or I'll hang them in overhead storage. And in terms of organization, what I like to do is I like to put away this. This was one of the last things I was using. This was for musky fishing in fall, and I probably won't musky fish until midsummer. So that's going to go in overhead storage. But this will be my sturgeon stick first thing out of the gates in the spring. So I'm going to keep this with easy access. But it's just as simple as backing all the drags off as far as I can. It'll keep from bending the washers. And then I also like to clean the reels up just before they get put away. I'll show you what I do. I'm not a reel cleaning expert by any means, but this seems to work pretty good. All right, so just to clean these out, what I usually do is this is a Deep Creep by Seafoam. This is a great lubricant. The stuff stays on your reels for an amazing amount of time, and it's also a good cleaner as well. So I've got a seasoned rag here I do all my oiling on, so I'll use that to wipe things down, and then I'll hit all the important spots here with a little bit of Deep Creep. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pop my spool off. I'm just going to hit a little bit of Deep Creep. You don't need much, just barely touch that in there. And so now it's sitting right on that shaft. You can see how it's nice and lubed. I'll just run that a few times. That'll help just, first of all, get lubrication on it. And then I'll just you can see there's a bunch of grease and dirt. You can see how it's kind of dirty. I'll just run a Q-tip in there, get rid of some of that dirt and debris. And it seems like this does a really good job at just getting a lot of that goop and stuff off of there too. You can see there's a lot of, and maybe just one more little hit. Deep Creep here. We'll just do a little bit on this bearing on the spring here as well. Any of these little spots, I'll just touch it just ever so lightly, and then I'll follow up with that rag as well. With that, and then I'll take one more little deal here in the on the handle side of things. I'll back this off. Hit this with a little bit of Deep Creep as well, and I can see also that I've got some gunk and goo in there. So, but see, I'll just roll that, keep that upright, and then just keep spinning it, and you'll see that oil will work its way down through the bearings and into the main body of the reel. It'll suck all that stuff up. It's pretty amazing how it makes everything so much smoother as well. So just a little bit of maintenance. It doesn't take long. You don't have to bring it to a reel repair guy. I'm sure they do a much thorough job of cleaning, but this again seems to work pretty darn good.